is my third presentation here, not quite the same as 15 or so from Joel, but some of the things I'll talk about will refer back to some of the other presentations that I've done in the past. We're a Wisconsin-based company, and we have offices in Madison, Portage, and La Crosse. And the counties I'm going to talk about today are this county, Adams County, and Fond du Lac County. Those are two systems that we put on the air. We're also currently under contract with this county up here, Trempealeau County, for a 7-site simulcast system, and this county here, Columbia County, for a 9-site simulcast system. And when we're done, we'll have a total of 6 simulcast systems. So, and of course, up here we have Green Bay, home of the 13-time world champion Green Bay Packers. And as a season ticket holder at Lambeau Field, that was quite a thrill. But I don't know which was a bigger thrill, actually, winning the Super Bowl or beating the Bears to get to the Super Bowl. But speaking of Illinois, you know, we've had a lot of stuff going on in Madison. You've probably all seen that in the news. And we had all these senators go down to Illinois. I guess today they're coming back, but you know, if there's anyone here from Illinois, you can just keep them. That's okay with me. Well, what I'm going to do is go over quickly the 2 counties that we completed in our last round, and then a number of lessons learned. I've been jotting those down for a couple of years. So if you're working on some simulcast systems, you can try to benefit from some of our experience. So first of all, to go over basically the infrastructure that we use Motorola Quantar transceivers. All our systems are VHF high band. That's what's used pretty much in Wisconsin outside of the metro areas. The Harris Intraplex Synchrocast. Harris, or as they would say now, Aviat, 2.6 gigahertz and 10 gigahertz microwave. We also use GE MVS Leader licensed microwave. All our microwave is licensed for the simulcast. All our backhaul is licensed. And it's all microwave. The Raytheon SNB 12 volters, Spectracom master oscillators, TXRX filtering at all sites, our office antennas and cables. And when we put in a new dispatch console, one doesn't already exist, it's the Motorola MCC 5500. This is the infrastructure used in all our systems. So first we'll go over Fond du Lac County. And Fond du Lac County was started as a 6-site system. And the microwave is Harris 6 gigahertz microwave in a looped configuration. This works very, very well. Never have any issues with the microwave when you can go around the loop. I think we have 12 T1 capacity, and we really only need 1 T1 for every site. So we have lots of capacity to go around the ring either way if anything happens. The master site is here at Tower Road. Dispatch is down here. When you say master site, that's the site where the voters are located and that type of thing. So this county is about 750 square miles. These are some coverage plots. The way we do coverage plots at communication service is a little bit like a stoplight. Green is good, dark green is very good, gray is really good. Yellow and red would be bad. You don't see much yellow and red in this. This is the talk out path, so the simulcast transmit path as far as the signal strength point goes. You know, basically anything you see here in the green is good, and that's down here we have indoor coverage with the green or the gray, 12 dB or greater, and that's generally been proven out in the system. The only area we have a little bit of trouble is right up here in this corner. This is the reverse path, so you say this is the voted path. So this is of course worse because you're dealing with only 5-watt portables. And in here, the criteria was to have outdoor portable coverage, and we do have that in general countywide. Again, some problems up here, but this is the reverse link. One of the lessons learned in this particular system is, I guess I've had this rule. We had a consultant who actually designed the system and picked the sites. But one of the rules I always go by is never take away coverage. If you have any tower, you have any site where the site already exists, and you put in a new system, and you say you're going to move that site to another site, but the coverage plots say it's all okay, you will have unhappy customers no matter what. And that basically happens because of indoor coverage. Because you can cover everything outside just fine according to the plot, but they're used to using it indoor. And then in this particular case, right on the county border is a city here called Waupun. About 5,000 people live there. They also have one of the oldest state prisons there, which means sometimes there's a sort of an interesting crowd frequenting the bars at night. And older town, maybe 100 years old, so you get a lot of brick construction downtown. Well, they used to have basically their own infrastructure here for the police department. And the police department moved on to the county system, and they took this site away and left it to these two sites. And yeah, your outdoor coverage was fine, but they couldn't talk at all indoors. And they were very, very unhappy. So as a change order, what got added onto the project is basically a spur. And this was all Harris microwave, and we had basically an MDS 950 megahertz licensed spur off to here, and then transmitted all the law enforcement and public safety channels simulcast and voted here, and that fits the problem.
How many square miles is this guy?
About 750. I guess the rule I go by, you're always looking at something between 100 and 120 square miles per site for a county in Wisconsin. We'll say, a little bit rolling type terrain. If you have heavier terrain, you can get down to 78 miles per square site. And that's sort of a general rule. Of course, you can do more than that, the cost just starts to go up. But the systems all seem to end up at about that number of sites per county. And the sites are not always perfectly placed. In this particular case, the county built new towers at all the sites. Some were existing, some were not. But of course, some of these are on county property and things like that, so that always changes a little bit where your site placement goes.
What's your maximum distance between those sites?
Maybe about 15 or 16 miles, typically. So one interesting thing about this particular system was what they did with the radio channels, and again designed by the consultant. Basically, you had your main law enforcement channel here, the sheriff's channel. That ended up being 7-site voted simulcast on the 7 sites you saw in the last slide. Same goes for this county fire channel. This highway channel here, basically, they didn't need an extra site in Waupun, the one that was added, so there's 6-site. Paging is transmit only. They don't actually receive on that channel, so I mean we have quantars there and the receiver is essentially the one used. Except at the main site we do have the receiver on one of the other frequencies with a different DPL, and that allows them to have a secondary way to page the site directly, page the system directly. So it's sort of a little bit different kind of a system that allows just the county to be able to use control stations and actually page into the system in case there's a problem. And then finally there's this channel they named Event, sort of a Sheriff 2 kind of a channel, but it can be used by anybody. And what this is it's a 7-site loaded simulcast analog channel, but on exactly the same frequency. It's also a P25 channel, so this is a mixed mode channel. And being the issues you have with the site spacing and that type of thing, in a lot of the systems, at least in Wisconsin, the sites are too far apart to reasonably do, say, phase 1 P25 simulcast, but some counties still want it. So the way this is configured is that it's a Motorola system with AstroTag voter and that type of thing. It'll vote the 6 sites, always vote the 6 sites, and then at dispatch they can select whichever one of the sites they want to transmit off of. That gives them mobile coverage countywide as far as mobile coverage for P25. And by being able to select which site they transmit on, if they have some kind of event, they're going to do a drug bust or something like that, that's near one of the other sites, they can select that site for that particular operation. So this is a way of getting P25 into the system, mobile-based, a little compromise on the portable-based, if you want to select the site to see which one it's transmitting off of, so the portables can hear things indoors. Way of getting the P25 without having to go to full simulcast. So that's how the channel configuration is set up. Block diagram of the system. This is all our systems installed to this day basically are the same. We use a Spectracom master oscillator at the master site. The separate box for generating the PL, the CTCSS into the Quantar, and then goes out to the Harris. Harris goes out to the microwave. Harris microwave, or Aviat type microwave, you know, that's very steady as far as delay goes. The MDS microwave will hold its timing, but if you turn it off and turn it off, the timing might be different. With Harris, Harris is a closed loop system, so it'll adjust its timing for you no matter what the delay is on the T1 link, and that's why we use the Harris Simulcast product.